Hey everybody, here today at the IBS show, International Builder Show in Orlando, and I'm with Max from Ford Pro. He's going to tell us about the truck behind us, which is the new Ford Lightning. Max, nice to have you on the podcast and on the YouTube channel. I'm glad you're around to give us some cool information. The truck looks great. Tell us a little bit about it.
Hey, thanks, Lance. I'm really happy to be here. We are unbelievably excited to be able to showcase this to a lot of the contractors around the United States, to show that, when we talk about F-150, we're always talking about a truck that's built Ford tough, that's there to get the job done. And I don't think we've ever had a truck that's so well equipped to get the job done as we have with the all-new F-150 Lightning. So here we have a Lariat model. It actually comes in 4 different trim levels. Pro starts at about 39.5. You got XLT starts in the 52, 53 range. Lariat at about 67 to start, which is the one that we have here in Atlas Blue. And then of course the top of the line Platinum, which will load out at about 90,000, as that one only comes with that extended range battery. They all come in this exact same configuration. They all come in a Super Crew. That's our most desirable configuration. Huge cab, flat load floor, tons of functional interior advantages as well when it comes to a fold down interior work surface, great comfortable interior, and that 5.5 foot box. So the 5.5 foot box with the Super Crew is the one configuration they come in, and they come in 2 different battery size configurations. We've got our standard battery, which has a targeted EPA estimate of 230 miles of range, as well as the extended range battery with an EPA estimated 300 miles of range.
Gotcha. What, as far as other things, can we do or expect as far as contractors or people that want to use these things? I mean, obviously you got to use the electrical to plug stuff in, right? I mean,
absolutely.
What other things can you do?
No, it's pretty wonderful. Actually, right now you can see right behind me we've got the new Mega Power front, which will be unique to the Lightning. We've got, in 2021, we launched our Power Boost truck, which was our first hybrid F-150. That also came with a lot of exportable energy. So Pro Power on board made its debut with our gas 3.5 twin turbo EcoBoost on that Power Boost truck. It allowed customers to essentially utilize up to 7.2 kilowatts of exportable power through the cargo area, through the cargo bed area. Now with the all-new F-150 Lightning, we can actually utilize up to 9.6 kilowatts of power through either the Mega Power front, the new front compartment, which will have 420 volt outlets, as well as a USB-C-A, USB-A, USB-C for your phone charging. It also works as a great cooler, so you can actually fill it up with ice, and there's a drain plug there in case you're doing a bit of a tailgate party. You want to throw your dirty equipment in there, boots and things of that nature. If you're working hard, you can always spray it out, clean it out. As much as it can provide power, it's nice and functional and easy to clean. You've also got 2 different 120 volt outlets that you can have located in the cab, as well as up to 5 different outlets, 4 120 volt outlets and 1 30 amp 240 volt outlet in the cargo bed area. Back there we can power a bunch of other tools in a very smart fashion.
Wow, let's walk around it just a little bit, and I want to show you guys the truck because it's such a cool color. What did you say this color is called?
So this is Atlas Blue.
Atlas Blue. It's a beautiful color. Like everybody knows on the channel, I was telling Max, it's a very performance channel. A lot of Mustangs, a lot of Lightning owners. The color's awesome. So I know we get a lot of, we don't want EV, we want the gas, we want the sound, all that kind of stuff. But from your perspective, talk about a little bit, why the Lightning name and where does it transition from the old Lightning to this?
Hey, that's a great question. I think everybody remembers the old Lightning in terms of the performance truck.
Yeah,
and
we love them.
Absolutely, the immense amount of torque and power. You find all that here with the F-150 Lightning. As much as it's a very green, zero emissions truck, you have either 426 horsepower in the standard range battery or 563 horsepower in the extended range battery, both of which, whether standard or extended, actually produce 775 pound-feet of torque available instantly. This thing is an absolute rocket. You put your foot to the floor and it will put you back in your seat, unlike any pickup truck I've ever experienced.
I'll bet.
Not only does it drive much faster than any pickup truck, not only does it accelerate better than any pickup truck I've ever had, it actually handles better than any half-ton truck I've ever experienced because of the nature of the way that it's built. It's got that very low center of gravity, thanks to the placement of the batteries, which are actually located within the frame, located within the high strength fully boxed steel frame, the thickest gauge frame we've ever had for any F-150. So the batteries are very well protected within the frame. So are both the front and rear motor setup. So through the front and rear motor setup, through that full-time four-wheel drive system, we can actually get 100% of that torque to the ground basically instantly. And not only does it accelerate unbelievably well, it actually handles very well because of that low center of gravity that I was talking about, the fact that it's got independent rear suspension for the first time for any of our half-ton pickup trucks as well. It handles like a dream.
Is it independent front as well, or just independent rear?
We've always had the independent front suspension as well, but we've now went to that independent rear, probably more comfortable to drive on a day-to-day basis, more maneuverable for sure. But what's great is that you still have tremendous capability, up to 2,000 pounds payload and up to 10,000 pounds for cargo pulling. So you pull a 10,000 pound trailer, haul 2,000 pounds of payload. It is built to get the job done, but it also just so happens to not make any sound as it's driving unbelievably well down the road.
Is Ford going to have any plans, you think, to like upgrade and give these like performance benefits, like in the traditional Lightning, make it more of a performance package, or you think they'll add anything like that in the future, or don't know?
I wouldn't be surprised. I know we've recently announced the fact that we're going to see a Raptor version of the Bronco, which we're very excited about.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a performance edition of Lightning. As of right now, there is nothing official, unfortunately, but certainly stay tuned.
Great. Well, if I wouldn't mind, I'd love to just you show us around just real quick, give us a couple little pro tips on what the truck is, and we'll wrap up.
Absolutely, yeah.
All
Let's have a look at the front.
Yep.
Power front here. Start. All right, so I just turned the lights on here in the Mega Power front, and just beside the lights, there's actually a lever in case the guys lock me in here, which is a nice child release, just like you would have in a typical trunk.
Yep.
We've got some batteries that are charging right now. We've got some. Don't worry, they don't leave any blades in there because they know I'm not overly handy. So you can power, you essentially have 420 volt outlets in the Mega Power front, as I mentioned, and you've also got a very easy to clean kind of rubberized cargo mat, and its own a very own drain plug here, which is tremendous, right? So if you want to fill it up with ice for a tailgate party, or if you want to just rinse it because you got muddy boots and different equipment, it is really meant to get the job done. And even if I actually pull the hood down a little bit, you'll notice that because it isn't an internal combustion engine, right, they're able to seal everything off here. So it's very, very aerodynamic in terms of the design.
Yeah.
All the way through the lights, the wheels, everything is kind of contributes to the aerodynamic nature of the pickup truck. Let's go have a look at the inside.
Sounds good.
So you may know since 2009 we've had our industry-leading flat load floor, which of course we've kept with F-150 Lightning. We don't have a big drive shaft that goes from a motor to the rear differential at all, right? We have
lots of floor space.
Tons of room back here like you would have in any gasoline F-150 or Super Duty. You've got some outlets in the back as well, controls for the heated seats and things of that nature. And you might see it's a little bit hard because it is so congested here at the front. However, we do have what's new for F-150 is that Sync 4A screen. So that Sync 4A screen made its debut on the Mach-E. It's a 15-inch vertical screen. It's the latest and greatest when it comes to sync technology. Of course, compatible with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, but even the base model, as this is a Lariat, of course, but even the base model comes standard with a Sync 4 12-inch screen that beautifully integrates into the dash there in a horizontal view. See, here's you've got new features that we launched on Power Boost, like the onboard scales there, which can actually calculate how much payload you've got in the bed.
Wow.
You've got tons of different trailering tools, whether it's remembering all the different trailers that you're pulling, so you can save the amount of trailer brake gain that you have, or so it remembers exactly how much mileage is on the trailer in terms of serviceability. There's always great advantages there. If we have a look at zone lighting, this is something else that launched on Power Boost for 21, which you can actually light up various portions of the campsite or various portions of the job site just by selecting the different. Oh, just got to turn on the zone lighting here. All right, you can light up just the side, just the front. If you're camping, if you're at a job site late night.
With all those wraparound LEDs?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Full wraparound LEDs on both sides.
That's
on the
impressive.
mirrors, in the tailgate, at the front. Pro Power on board is the next thing we're going to show you. You can actually utilize up to 9.6 kilowatts of power through either the front Mega Power front compartment through the cab itself, or we're going to take you right to the cargo area there, right to the bed, and showcase the multitude of tools that you can actually power up all at once.
Beautiful interior as well. Nice two-tone leather seats. I like that. This paint color is amazing though.
Absolutely. Oh no, if you look at the attention to detail, the craftsmanship, B&O sound system, I mean, you've got the best of the best when it comes to infotainment, when it comes to sound solutions, when it comes to creature comforts, and this is the Lariat, right? We can still go up to the Platinum, which will add massage seats and things of that nature. Here we've actually plugged in a big distribution box because we just had so many different tools to plug in to showcase here at the show. So we actually plugged in right into the 240 volt plug here. If you come back here, we can actually probably see, get a good view of it. You've got the 240 volt plug right into that 30 amp circuit there. It's actually plugged into our distribution box, and it's powering a bunch of different. Actually, it's powering these lights that you can see right now. Let's turn on some more though, because lights is not necessarily the.
Lights only gets you to the work, huh?
All right, now we got this compressor going. Saw another compressor.
Too much power. It happens, right? Sometimes you get a little greedy and you use too much power, just like it would at your house. Don't worry. It just you flip the breaker here. You've got a little button here to reset, and we're back.
Wow.
So as long as you're within your 9.6 kilowatts of exportable power, you can power up the job site for days and days on end. It's unbelievable how this truck was designed to get the job done. Of course, it's got this tailgate work surface here if you want to clamp down, cut some wood that you're actually, powering your saw right from the truck itself. It still has our extremely convenient fold down tailgate step with
handle and everything.
Easy way to get in and out while carrying material. So it is essentially designed to work. And what's really, really impressive is that we're powering all these tools in here. We're indoor at the convention center, and we're not creating any type of emissions, right? Zero emissions, no pollution. You can actually work indoors anywhere and power up all your tools without having a generator running, which is the main advantage when it comes to Pro Power on board with Lightning. So pretty impressive to see all the different tools that you can run all simultaneously, without mentioning the fact that the truck not only does it drive better than any F-150 we've ever seen before, but it also happens to be a backup emergency generator for your household if the power ever does go out.
Wow, that's amazing. Is it have charge-through capability for stuff like that? Say you needed to use it at your house for 10 hours. Can you charge through as well? Say this was, you had your own, generator and you have it full power on this. Can you continue to charge through the truck for like long periods of time? Maybe while it's recirculating power anyway, or like hook it up to solar, or
that I know that they've got a deal right now with Sunrun. There's a lot of different things that are kind of in operation. The one thing that I do understand from how Pro Power on board works is that, of course, it's leveraging as much energy as it can from that battery to power up the tools, or if the truck's parked at your house, as long as you have the Ford Charge Station Pro, the 80 amp Ford Charge Station Pro that actually comes with the purchase of any extended range battery.
Okay.
That 80 amp Charge Station Pro can charge the truck from about 15% to 80% in just over 8 hours or so. And what's beautiful about that is that as long as the truck is plugged into that Charge Station Pro, the way that the charge station itself would be installed at your house by a vetted electrician, of course, they would include an automatic home transfer switch. You would have to also get an inverter, and once all that's installed, as soon as there's an emergency and the power goes out, the truck can use whatever power it has in the battery to actually power your house using regular usage for up to 3 days, or if you're using the power a little bit more sparingly, maybe you're not necessarily, cranking the AC or washing a bunch of clothes, you can actually have that last for up to 10 days in case of emergency.
Wow, that's really cool.
So it can certainly replace kind of a backup generator for your house.
That's awesome. Well, we just want to thank you, Max. Appreciate all the great information. The truck looks beautiful. I know you guys on the channel, you definitely like to hear some noise out of this thing, but in person, it looks really great. For a work truck, I mean, this is, if you've got chargers around, this has a ton of opportunity for real work getting done. So I think it's a great truck.
Absolutely. They've made the charging solution as easy as possible, whether you're charging at home, at the job site, at your depot. If you're at a long drive, we've got over 70,000 public charging networks available within the Blue Oval charging network. So Ford wanted to make it as easy as possible to keep the truck powered up. You can use as much electricity as you want on the job site, but you can always set a limit so that the truck saves you however much you need, 50, 70, 100 miles to get to the next destination for a charge. They've made it as bulletproof as possible.
So from maybe 0 to 5% to a full charge, what's the time?
0 to 5% to a full charge on your, it's going to depend obviously on what you're using. If you're using the 80 amp Charge Station Pro, it would most likely be closer to that 10-hour range. But for sure, that first 15% and that last 20% is always kind of the longest to get fully charged. And then depending on your driving patterns, you might not necessarily want to charge it all the way up. It might actually make more sense to just keep it charge it for 4 or 5 hours. You'd have plenty for the next day. That might be what's the most efficient from a cost perspective as well. And what's great about that is whether you're a retail customer or if you're a commercial customer, our team at Ford Pro Charging can also help with kind of help simplify the best way to really charge it, the best charging times, and if you've got multiple electric vehicles you're charging, they can provide you with that charging management software for commercial customers as well to make sure that they're charging at the optimum times and it's costing you the least amount of possible. But regardless, there's going to be huge savings to be had when it comes to, filling up the batteries. Are going to always cost you a lot less than filling up the tank, and way less maintenance to be worried about when it comes to F-150 Lightning, since you don't have those routine oil changes to look forward to and things of that nature. Very minimal in terms of your wearable parts.
Awesome. And you mentioned earlier, this is the configuration that it's going to come in at first, is the Super Crew Cab only for a while, and then also full-time, basically all-wheel drive.
Absolutely, yeah. So Super Crew, 5.5-foot bed, full-time with a dual motor, front and rear motor setup, full-time all-wheel drive, unbelievable acceleration, 0 to 60 in about 4.5 seconds or so, mid 4 seconds we're saying.
It's got that part of the Lightning. It's missing the sound, but it's got the zoom.
Absolutely. It's not necessarily going to melt the tires either, because it's so efficient at getting them power to the ground that there's very little tire squeal. It just wants to get up. It just hooks up and goes.
Just wants to put you back in the chair.
Absolutely.
All right.
Very efficient.
Well, Max, thank you again so much. I'm going to just kind of go around and show a little bit more of the truck, but thanks for the interview. We appreciate you very much.
Hey, thanks, Lance. It was great chatting with you.
Nice to meet you. All right, guys, we're going to take you around, show you a little bit more of the truck. I can't get over the color. It's just beautiful. This Atlas blue, I know some of you nuts out there are going to be painting this. When you see it, you're going to put this on a Foxbody. You're going to put this on a Lightning truck, an older model, because it really is a gorgeous blue. You're going to want to check this truck out. I know you guys are going to be loving the truck. Look, I know that a lot of people watching this channel, you guys love gas motors. I love gas motors. Whether you're a fan of the EVs or not, it's neat to see this really cool truck. The LED lights are really cool on the front. I think you guys are just going to really like it. The wheels itself, actually for a stock wheel, they're pretty neat looking wheels. And again, enjoy.